Hi, and welcome to Picardcast. As always, I'm Brooke, and with me I only have my wonderful co-host, Rebecca.
Hello. My voice is so-so.
Yeah, and as for, everyone's probably read our little note. Rebecca didn't have a voice this week because of C2E2. We were really busy also, so we didn't really get to record. So we're just going to have like a little short episode right now about The Impossible Box, which aired February 27th while we were, in the depths of our con going. Yeah, this is just going to be sort of a short freeform kind of thing of us talking. And as I always like to give full disclosure, I should start saying absolute candor now.
Yes.
We already recorded our next episode 7, before this. So she may really not have a voice by the time it's over, and I'm awfully sorry.
That's okay.
So, this episode had some interesting things for Soji. I don't know if you just want to talk about the characters individually or how you want to go about this. So free form.
This is going to be freeform because the idea was, dear listeners, that we would record this in Chicago. We were so ambitious. We brought our laptops, we brought our microphones, the whole nine, and then we never got around to recording because we were just super busy. This is going to be a very freeform episode, shorter. We'll just talk about the characters a little bit and instead of our usual scene-by-scene breakdown. But we did want to give you at least our thoughts on episode 6, The Impossible Box. So, something I'd like to talk about briefly is when Picard going back on board a Borg cube.
Oh, right. I'm going to read this little synopsis off.
Let's do that.
Off of Wikipedia. And then we can kind of go from there and talk about the things we want to talk about.
Okay, great. I kind of put the cart before the horse there.
That's fine. Soji is experiencing a reoccurring dream of her childhood. Narek believes that exploring her dream will reveal the location of her homeworld. Aboard La Serena, Jurati tells Picard Maddox died as a result of his injuries on Freecloud. Raffi persuades a Starfleet contact to issue Picard temporary diplomatic credentials so the Romulans will let him visit the artifact and meet with Hugh. Narek continues sowing seeds of doubt with Soji about her identity. She scans her belongings and is shaken to find out that none of them are older than 37 months. Narek helps her meditate to explore her dream while his sister is secretly monitoring the room. In the dream, Soji sees herself as a doll. When she looks up, she sees 2 red moons and a stormy sky. That is enough for Narek and his sister to start looking for her planet. Narek tries to kill Soji, but she escapes and meets Picard and Hugh. Hugh takes Picard and Soji to an emergency long-distance transportation device, allowing them to escape the artifact. Romulan guards try to stop them, but Elnor appears and kills them before staying behind with Hugh to hold off the pursuers. So it sounds like a lot happened in that episode.
More than I remember, actually. When you read, I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. I forgot.
It's just like, Picard went back to a Borg cube. That was kind of the whole big thing.
Well, I think this was the first time he's been on a cube since he was assimilated.
Right.
So, unless I'm mistaken, was there a movie? I don't think he went on board a Borg cube in a movie. No, he didn't. This is the first time he has set foot on a Borg cube since he was Locutus of Borg. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it hit him hard.
Didn't one of the XBs call him Locutus? Or ask if he was Locutus? I feel like I heard them say
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure one of the Borg was like, aren't you Locutus? Or I think they were like, Locutus?
He's like, hey man, aren't you Locutus?
Oh man, we should get a coffee sometime. Locutus, what are you doing around here? You son of a gun?
You want to get some engine oil together?
You want to get some engine oil together? How about we lubricate those old Borg implants, huh? Tie one on?
Yeah. Why don't we plug it into some electrical outlets?
Let's get really crazy and let's regenerate all night long.
Oh, yeah. We're really off the rails. That's okay.
We were never on the rails on this episode.
That's true. So yeah, it's really crazy that he wants to be on this Borg cube. It's like he wants so badly to save Soji that he's like, I'm gonna go back to that terrible, terrible place.
Yeah, there and there was some really interesting imagery, like before he goes on board, we do see like Picard looking at images on his like holo screen of Hugh before when he was a Borg and then after. And then we do see images of Picard's looking at himself as Locutus. And like the camera work is really great because they kind of superimpose that image from the computer screen like onto his, like it's a hollow image, and so it like goes over his face. So like just for that moment he looks like he's a Borg again. And that's some really great stuff. Really just talking about how, Picard's never really quite gotten over that. And I mean, who would though? Like
right.
If you were assimilated, if I was assimilated even for a brief time like Picard was, I don't know if I'd ever get over it. I don't know if I'd ever move past it.
Not at all. That's just very traumatic.
I did enjoy though watching Hugh and Picard reunite. I thought that was a very touching moment because Picard is like on the cube and he's getting dizzy and he's having all these like flashbacks and he's hearing voices and he almost falls and like all these ex-Borg they kind of grab him like oh, like, be careful. And he's like, no, get off me, don't assimilate me, that kind of thing. And then he was like, no, they're trying to help you. Like, they don't want you to fall. And then when they realize it's each other, there's just this real genuine happiness to see each other and this really sweet hug. And he's like, I think Hugh calls him my friend, like, oh, hello, my friend. Yes. And so good to see you. And Picard's like, you look great and blah, blah, blah. And I really thought that whole sequence was just so well done, really well shot, well acted by everybody.
Definitely, yeah. Hugh. Anyway, if you haven't watched episode 7, I'm not going to give any kind of spoilers about anything. Just a warning, even though we just talked about it, so it's going to be hard.
Yes.
But we're going to try not to. Yeah, so what did you think about when Soji was scanning all of her stuff and it said that it was all 37 months old? That would probably freak you out, right, if that happened to you? Yeah,
I thought, here we're beginning to see Soji, to a degree, like, unravel. She's believed a certain truth her whole life, and now she's been presented with evidence that she's only 3 years old. And she's like, no, that's impossible.
She's 3 years and a month?
She's 3 years and she's 37 months old. She's like those annoying parents who it's like, how old is your baby? Oh, she's 37 months old. She's 3 years old. Calm down. She's 3 years old.
If any of our listeners do that, stop it.
Yes, please just stop it. Or don't. I'll never know. It's okay.
We don't. Yeah, it's fine.
And so like when she starts scanning all these things that are supposed to be like childhood, like even those childhood drawings.
Yeah.
And it's like approximate age, 37 months. And it's like nothing is real. Like it's all this fake life that's been set up for her. It's gotta be talking about having nervous breakdowns and like coming to realizations about things. I just thought that was really a powerful scene as she's like ripping pages, she's like ripping pictures up, and she's angry. She's angry because everything that she believes to be true is being shown to her to be a lie. And she's angry that it's a lie. She's angry. I mean, but again, who wouldn't be? If you found out that every memory you had of your childhood and your life, of the people that you knew as your family, was all implanted and none of that was real. I mean, that is earth-shattering. That is life-shattering. You don't even know who you are at that point.
Yeah, like, you can't even imagine how it would be. You just know that it would be scary. Because if you ever find out something, a little quick story, my grandmother found out, just a few years ago, that her birthday was 10 days before she thought it was. because she saw her actual birth certificate, whereas before
Oh my God.
she never really. Anyway, so and that was kind of weird. Like, that wasn't even me, and it shook me up. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. So I can't imagine finding out that every single thing that you ever knew about who you were and your family and your life and all these memories that you had were not real. That's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, we as the audience, we know that she's an android. We know that she was created in a lab or in some kind of a controlled environment. But of course, for her, she thinks she had a childhood where she grew up with a mother and a father and her twin sister, and she had all these memories of her dad in the lab with the orchids and all that. Mm-hmm. And of course, here's Narek. Narek is always there, like right on the edge of her. Not even on the edge. He's always there right in her face. Mm-hmm. And, he's sleeping with her and he's telling her that he has feelings for her. And
I might be falling for you. It's like, oh,
I might be in love with you. Or I might just be a total jerk. Who knows?
Or, get this, maybe both.
Or maybe I'm a total... see, this is the thing about having a G-rated show. I wanted to say a certain word and I can't say it.
I mean, if you did, we'd zap it. So, whatever.
Intercourse boy? I don't know. This doesn't feel the same... on the same weight.
Oh, my God.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing. What are you talking about? It's amazing.
But, like, he's always right there, right? He's always, oh, I have these feelings for you. Oh, I'm so mysterious and secretive. Oh, I bet you want to take care of me. Oh, I'm such a sad boy. And blah, 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 blah. And, so she's constantly there in this back and forth. And he's the one who pushes her over the edge with this whole, your dreams are revealing that you're not who you think you are. And then, of course, he takes her to that meditation room where supposedly you have to be Romulan to go in there, and he's like, she's with me, it's okay. And then he puts her in there and he's having her walk this path, and it's like symbolic of walking down sort of that corridor in her dreams, and he's always there pushing her until she reveals the information that he wants from her. And then of course when he's done with her, what does he do? He just throws her away. And he tries to kill her.
I gotta go hang out with my sister.
See you later. I have to go hang out with my creepy sister that maybe I sleep with too. Gross. But of course, then his little puzzle box he's been playing with the whole time that came straight out of Hellraiser. He leaves it right there, and of course it's an evil box, and it's shooting radiation in the air.
It's an impossible box.
An impossible box. Well, and then we do get him as he's leaving her in there, and she's pounding on the door, and she's like, "Help me," whatever. He seems to be upset. Mm-hmm. He seems to be visibly "Oh, I don't really want to do that, but here we are." Which I don't know. That could just be
censor for now, but my sister is forever. Oh, wait, what? The incest jokes just don't get old. I'm real sorry.
They don't get old, and it starts at home. The incest jokes started. I'm sorry, everyone. It's late, and I have a dirty mind.
Kevin Shanks is out there listening. He's real proud of that joke.
Thanks. I work hard on my dad jokes. Kevin is my inspiration. Yeah. Everybody should listen to his podcast. Mm-hmm. Nobody asks you, Kevin. He's a cool guy.
Yes. We're plugging.
So why not? It's a fast and loose episode. Who knows what's going to happen next? But he's leaving, and he's single tear rolled down his cheek, and oh, I'm so sad I had to do that. Does he really feel that way? I don't know. What do you think, Brooke? Do you think he really feels bad?